Today we are going to talk about the leaked conversation between Dr. Chishimba Kambwili and the Bank of Zambia Governor, Mr. Christopher Mvunga. But before we jump into today's live stream, right? Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. There's been a lot of speculations and rumors here on social media. But as the leading voice of the Zambian youths, I'm here to let you know that we are not here to propel misinformation. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And lastly, these are our elders. We are supposed to respect them, and they have children who are as old as I am, even older than me. So this is one of the reasons why I'm going to be very respectful. And everything that I'm going to be talking about is going to be done from an objective perspective. However, with age, we should expect and assume that wisdom is going to come together with, the more a person gets older, the more wise we assume them to be. So this conversation is not mostly going to be talking about Chishimba Kambwili, Dr. Chishimba Kambwili, and the Bank of Zambia Governor, Mr. Christopher Mvunga, because I do not want to make it personal, and neither is this a witch hunt. So just remove these two individuals from this conversation. However, we do deserve the right to sort of talk about these things and just learn from them. So this is going to be a learning topic, and we're just going to talk about how we can do things better. Because by the end of it all, as Zambian youths, we want to make Zambia a better nation, and we want to make sure that all the rules and laws are obviously making us gravitate towards economic emancipation, because the only thing that we want as Zambian youths is we want economic freedom. Okay, so this conversation is not going to be about these two individuals. I strongly, clarify that point. So anyway, let's talk about the things that we can learn from this alleged leaked conversation. And one of the things that we can talk about is, let's say, for example, let's assume this is an altered digital audio, because we're assuming everybody's innocent until proven guilty, So let's also assume that it is authentic. So what lessons are we going to learn from this particular, leaked conversation? And what are the facts and the statistics and all the data points that we can use to make Zambia a better place? So I also want to talk about the 30 million, which is being talked about, and I want to talk about the strength, or rather the value of 30 million, because we need to talk about these things, because as Zambians, these are the things that do affect us. And before we jump into today's topic, right, we're also going to talk about the key important factors that we can learn from this particular conversation, and the things that need to be done in order to rectify such situations from occurring in the future. But before we jump into that, right, I have to introduce myself. My name is Mnalula. We are the leading voice for the Zambian youths here on Z Corner. So before we jump into today's topic, I want you to take the time to share this video right now. I want you to share it amongst your friends in all the groups that you belong to. I know you belong to several groups. Please share this video right now, because the masses need to learn from this particular controversial topic. So right now, take the time, share this video, and please let me know where you are watching me from. If you're watching me from anywhere in the world, please type your location and bring out all the points that you want to bring out with regards to this particular topic. So without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. And by the way, do not mind the sound which is coming in the background, because people are kind of renovating around these areas. So anyway, let's talk about today's topic. First of all, I want to talk about the magnitude of $30 million, because a lot of you might just be saying, these are the usual stories that we hear about the misappropriation of funds. And by the way, this has got nothing to do with Dr. Chishimba Kambwili and Mr. Christopher Mvunga. This is just a general conversation. So remove these individuals from this particular conversation. This is just a basic general conversation. So 30 million US dollars can actually pay 30,000 students for 4 months, because let's say, for example, students who are on scholarship. Students are studying in China, some are studying in Algeria, Russia, and so many other places. They get $1,000 for about 4 to 6 months. So 30 million US dollars can actually feed 30,000 students for 4 months. That's the 4-month allowance of students. 30 million US dollars can also pay 60,000 doctors for a month. 60,000 doctors for a month, provided we already understand that Zambian doctors roughly get around 500 US dollars. So if you divide that, that's about 60,000 doctors per month. And then if you talk about nurses, 30 million US dollars can solve 120,000 nurses per month. So if you talk about the magnitude of a 30 million misappropriated fund, these are the solutions that a 30 million US dollar amount of money can actually, these are the extents at which we can actually get to resourcefully use such a large amount of money. So this is not a simple sort of sum that we can just say, Zambia stuff. We need to really scrutinize, because this is huge amounts of money that has got a butterfly effect on the citizens of Zambia, because 30,000 students have got families. Their future depends on them. Look at the disruption of the amount of people that are affected by such an amount. So this is obviously something that we can't really look into. And this is one of the reasons why we have to learn from it. And of course, President Hakainde Hichilema has already clarified this particular point, that organizations such as the Financial, Institutional Center, the FIC, and the Anti-Corruption Commission, these are supposed to be autonomous organizations that now have got teeth to sort of do their respective investigations. You understand? So this is one of the reasons why we need to have a zero tolerance to corruption. And right now we have leadership which is actually in support of this particular idea, which is very good, because everything starts and ends with leadership. Okay, so a zero tolerance to inappropriate activities starts from the head. So this is one of the reasons why we require our leaders to be very, very strict, especially when it comes to the misappropriation of funds, because there has been a lot of reported cases where huge sums of money have gone missing. And if you talk about the butterfly effects and the repercussions of such amount of revenue, and by the way, this money is not really being printed out of thin air. This is coming from you and I, the taxpayers, the taxpayers out there, the people who are actually toiling day in and day out from 6 to about 6. This is you and I. This is from the, from our government coffers. So we are entitled to sort of talk about these things. And this is one of the reasons why I have the audacity, because I am a patriotic Zambian. And this time around, the youths really want to rectify this particular situation, because we are looking for economic emancipation. And economic emancipation is only going to come about if we do sort of take care of the resources that God has blessed us with and the money that we have been given. So this is one of the reasons why we need to sort of have a very good audit. Zambia needs to be cleansed. All institutions need to be forensically looked at. And this is one of the reasons why we have to really go into the studying of the issuance of bonds, because this is obviously a loophole that has been used, it has been utilized to sort of it's a clever way of getting money. So this is one of the reasons why we definitely have to scrutinize and understand the issuance of bonds. Not only bonds, even government loans. This is one of the reasons why we obviously need to also study how we accumulated the amount of debt that Zambia has. We need to go in there. And there's this issue of memorandum of understandings, MOUs, and non-disclosure agreements and all that stuff. So we need to get in there, because these are the things that are happening, and people are using these loopholes to sort of steal fund from the public. And this is one of the reasons why we need a serious audit. We need to audit the issuance of bonds. We need to audit all the loans that were obviously obtained on behalf of Zambia, and we need to make sure that we we go in there and just basically get to find out exactly what was happening. Okay, and we also need to have laws and rules whereby there isn't going to be anyone who's going to accumulate debt on behalf of the Zambian people and then sign a non-disclosure agreement, because these are public issues. These are issues of national interest. So we need to have rules and laws that really prevent, such type of activities to be done privately or without any basic public knowledge, if I can put it that way. So we need to rectify those particular loopholes and make sure that everything is corrected. Then the other thing that we also need to talk about is we need to talk about the Bank of Zambia Act as well. We need to make sure that all the rules and the stipulated channels are really observed, because these rules were actually enforced so that the rule of law can actually be followed. So this is one of the things that we need to seriously look into, and this is one of the reasons why the relevant authorities out there, this is not time to sleep. This is time to actually do work. And of course, we're waiting for the president to form his cabinet and all that stuff, and these people are going to go out there and do what they have to do. But these are the loopholes that we need to seal, because once you go into public service, right, you obviously need to serve the people. You are there to serve. So obviously all your activities are going to be scrutinized, and the public is going to be interested in how everything is done, because you're supposed to be a clean book. Okay, and the other concept that we have, especially in Zambia, is if you want to get rich, you need to either be a politician, you need to have access to all these opportunities. But it's not supposed to be like that. If you really want to amass a lot of wealth, you need to get into business or entrepreneurship. Serving is meant to serve a purpose to the people of Zambia, and you are supposed to be accountable for all the actions that you take. So this concerns you and I, because you and I are affected. And then we also need to talk about the channels of reporting, because when a crime is committed, right, you need to call the relevant authority designated for that particular crime and the people who can actually solve it. So we need to use the the appropriate channels with regards to reporting crime. This is one of the reasons why we have SEC, we've got FIC, we've got other organizations and institutions relevant for such activities and such observations. So this is one of the reasons why we should also educate the population and let them know what channels to use with whatever problem that they encounter. Okay, and then the other thing is we should scrutinize especially ruling parties, because ruling parties have got access to the government coffers. They've got access to public funds. So this is one of the reasons why we obviously need to categorically scrutinize everything that they are doing, everything that they have been doing. Everything should be out there for the public to rectify and just clarify and be able to get answers from, because they have access to the coffers. And this is one of the reasons why we should have like a serious audit with regards to the previous ruling government and everything that they did, because by the end of it all, right, there's always going to be traceability with regards to money. Money just doesn't appear from nowhere. There's a ledger, be it public or private. There's always going to be traces. And this is one of the reasons why, if we look at the chart, right, if we look at the Zambian kwacha graph, we are able to see where the prices were beginning to depreciate and what happened. And there is a direct correlation to a few decisions that were introduced in Zambia, and some few appointments. Okay, because if you look at August 22nd, August 24th, right, we saw a very huge influx of new kwacha on the market. So we also need to study these things and just get to understand it better, because these are the things that we can actually objectively track and see. So this is one of the reasons why we have to be careful, especially if we are holding public offices, because these offices are obviously meant for everybody to do their due dues and provide the best of services. So if you are providing service to the public, you are likely going to be questioned, you're going to be scrutinized. It comes with the job. And the other thing that we can also talk about is making of laws that really prevents ambiguous loan acquisitions, okay, because this is a loophole that is obviously utilized in Zambia. Issuance of bonds, loans. Most of the loans, right, a lot of them are obviously just loopholes of getting money and siphoning money from Zambia. So this is one of the reasons why we need to have a rule and a law that really prevents these loan acquisitions to be done privately, and memorandum of understandings, NDAs, and all that stuff. We don't need all that. We need to actually trace what's happening, because a ledger is meant to be public, and we're supposed to see the inflow and the outflow of money, and that is obviously going to sort of help us become better. So that's all I had for you. I'm not really going to scandalize anything, and I'm not really going to talk about despicable things, because this is also one of the the areas where we the youths go wrong. We are always here putting out false rumors and just witch hunting for no reason. No, we're supposed to go about it the right way. We're supposed to talk about these things objectively. Stuff. So just be careful out there. Avoid misinformation, because if you're misinforming people, then that is obviously going to have a butterfly effect, which is going to be very bad. And there's nothing good comes out of those activities. So that's all I had for you. I know a lot of you were expecting me to talk about this, that. No, we're going to keep it classy, because we've got lawyers, we've got a team of advisors that really allow us to sort of talk about these things in a very objective and civilized manner. So be objective, and remember, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Yes, there's this particular situation where the audio was leaked. We know about Chishimba Kambwili's voice, we know Mr. Christopher Mvunga's voice, but we just can't go out there and demonize them and victimize them until relevant authorities do what they have to do. And until then, we can only speculate, we can only learn and try to improve ourselves. So that's all I had for you today. I really hope that you enjoyed this. Remember, stay away from rumors, and hopefully you're going to go out there, especially for our youth. Let's work. We need to work. We need to defend our land. We need to protect our women, and we also need to feed our children. And we need to especially work. Abanishta yakubomba ba President Hakainde hichida mabari tueva atikubombesha. So when you finish watching my video, go out there, do what you have to do, hustle, and just basically be productive, because this is the only way that we are going to propel Zambia to the next level. And to all the older people out there, please be wise. Do not really take us for granted because we're younger than you, because at this particular moment we are so full of energy. We've got a lot of testosterone, and if you come in between our way, right, if you come you sort of try to prevent us from doing what we have to do, then there's going to be a problem. So as an older statesman, you need to be wise, you need to do the right thing, and you need to conduct yourself in a civilized manner, because how are we going to respect you? Of course, respect in the Zambian culture is something that we are taught from childhood. So this is one of the reasons why I would really love to inform our youth to discuss about these topics in a very respectful manner, because Chishimba Kambwili, Mr. Mvunga, they've got children who are just as old as us. So we need to respectfully talk about these things, and just make sure that we're doing it in a right way that doesn't really bring umusevanya. So my name is Mnalula. Welcome to Z Corner. We are the leading voice for the Zambian youths. Hopefully, we're going to be able to talk about a few other things as well in the future, as soon as we get the relevant authorization to do so, because these are very delicate issues, and we're not going to put ourselves in harm's way, because we've seen these, quite a bit of cybercrime and all that stuff, so just be careful out there. Remember, youth, kuwomba, kabia mubombe, and have a very productive day. Take care.